and gentlemen, welcome to the Rocket Radio Show.
Across the bar, my seat's been taken by some sunglasses, asking about a scar. I know I gave it to you months ago. I know you're trying to forget, but between the drinks and subtle things, the holes in my apologies, you know, I'm trying hard to take it back. So if by the time the bar closes and you feel like falling down, I'll carry you home.
This is your host, Rocket, and I'm currently broadcasting to you live from the Broken Wiener Bunker Studios located in FEMA Zone numero 10, below the radiation belt. And, of course, my ever-present sidekick, Samantha Stanley! Hey, Sam, are you there?
I'm here, Rocket, I'm here.
Thank you very much, studio audience.
Thank you.
It's great to be back, Sam.
Where did we go?
Nowhere. I mean, it's just great to be back on the air broadcasting. I'll have you know, Sam.
Yes.
That the tides of resistance are against me. I'm foot slogging. Definitely foot slogging.
You're whatting?
I'm foot slogging. It's like walking through marshmallows.
Ah.
It's a lot of resistance, Sam. It's a lot of resistance, Sam.
Who's giving you resistance?
Oh, who, he, they, them, her, us, we, the right, the left, the rich, the poor.
The beautiful, the ugly.
I just don't want to raise any more kids. You know that?
That's good.
And, you know, we have a question today. And I can't advocate for young people. I just can't do it. I can't advocate for young people to take on somebody with kids, stepkids.
No, I agree with you. I did it.
There was a time where I was Prince Charming, the big rescuer, and I would have said, if the chick is worth it, then go for it. But otherwise, now, in retrospect, I don't know if I could advise anybody to do that. I'm not so sure that's a great idea.
Well, and I'm right there with you. I just don't think it's a good idea for anybody to jump into a relationship with someone who has kids. Now, I do have a caveat to that. That
Yes.
caveat would be if the ex-spouse, the other parent to the children, is dead. It helps.
Widow kids, no ex to deal with.
Yeah, it
Now,
helps.
is a caveat, is that something you wear around your neck when you're at, like, the Playboy Mansion?
No, that would be a boa.
A boa? No, that's a chick. The dude. What's the thing? A dickie. What's that thing that men wear? It's kind of like
It's called a dickie.
a caveat.
No, the caveat. Or is caveat what you put on crackers?
Ew.
Ew.
That doesn't sound good at all. Have you ever tried the eggs?
No.
No, it's a texture thing. You wouldn't do that.
You're right. I don't do textures.
That's right. What are the things that you don't eat, Sam? What's the
Bananas.
list? Bananas? No.
No.
Condiments.
Strawberries.
Ladies and gentlemen, can you believe this broad? No ketchup in her life. No ketchup, no mayo,
No
no
mayonnaise.
mustard.
No mustard. No
Don't
relish.
eat hot dogs.
No relish.
No fast food either.
No fast food.
No fast food. Not because it's unhealthy. I mean, she eats like a goddamn pirate. No. It's because... Why, Sam?
Because they're always going to end up putting condiments on my burger.
Burrito Supreme?
No, I don't eat beans.
You don't eat Taco Bell.
No, because they put beans in everything.
No Jack in a Box.
Ooh. Well, it depends.
Now, you'll do a shake, right? Chocolate shake?
Yeah.
God.
It's not my favorite. Pretty sweet.
Gotta tell you, no pickles.
No pickles. Well, I eat tomatoes
No
on a
deli
salad.
products.
No, nothing that comes from a deli.
What about cheeses?
Almost every kind of cheese except that stinky foot cheese.
Oh, almost every kind of cheese. Oh, and you do not like the black olives that you stick on your fingertips when you're a little kid.
No
Never
olives.
ate those.
No olives. I don't like strawberries
No-
because of the seeds.
No
That's
cranberry
a texture
sauce.
thing. No, I don't do cranberry
Don't
sauce.
do cranberry sauce. Starting to sound like a skeletal diet there.
Once again, texture.
Texture.
Bananas are the worst, though. There's a texture to bananas that it reminds me. I mean, my tongue is making this movement right now that's just really like squishy through your teeth, baby food type.
All right, note to self, bananas are the key. So, Samantha,
Yes, Rocket.
I didn't have a fired up political view today.
Okay. I'm
I've been focusing lately my energies on trying to share with the listeners practical things that they can do to take care of themselves. Today's show I made was a stunning National Geographic quality chicken show
good.
about chickens.
I actually heard part of that show. I think it's great.
And I want you to know, Sam, I speak from experience.
I
I'm
know
an
you do.
experienced chickensman.
Chicken smith?
Yeah.
Is that an official term?
I like to think of myself as a chicken smith.
I'm going to Google that.
Now, yesterday, I was cutting the horses' hooves with a saw and cleaning them and trimming them and stuff. And then you came out to me and you said, how do you know how to do that?
Right. Actually, what I said was, gosh, I love you. Because you just know how to do everything. How do you know how to do that?
What I don't understand is how come I can be like that but be so misunderstood by the world? You know, I don't fit in anywhere. I just don't. Loner.
Not true. I was wondering that today, though. You know, I went to the doctor today.
Yes.
And had a beautiful drive up to where the doctor is. I had to go past the ocean and through this beautiful little town to get to the doctor's office. And I was thinking, we're always talking about what our next adventure is going to be. And I was thinking, I want to live here. This is a beautiful little town, cute, lots of charm to it, right on the water. And, I've always talked about I'd love to open a boutique. It's a boutique town. And then I was thinking...
Now, with that boutique, would it be ubiquitous?
Randomous. Ubiquitous randomous.
Ubiquitous is a good word for a boutique. Now, when you say boutique, that means overpriced, labeled stuff.
Overpriced shit you don't need but have to have.
It's been manufactured overseas by slave labor.
No, cuter than that. But anyway, to my point, because you always want me to get to the point. To my point, I was thinking, this is such a cute little boutique town, and all the houses that are up on the hill that overlook the water, and I thought, we could get our bikes, and we could be going into town and sitting in this cute little sidewalk cafes, having coffee or having lunch, because that's what people were doing. It's a beautiful day. And then I started thinking, I wonder if Rocket would do that with me. Because you say you're a loner. I mean, you like to do stuff with me, or I take you places and then you end up enjoying it, whether you want to go initially or not. But I was just thinking, I wonder if we lived in a cute little town like this, if we would still just stay at home. Of course, our home is different here. It's out in the woods and it's far away and it's really peaceful and quiet. So it's actually pleasurable to be here.
I'm thinking.
I hear crickets.
I'm thinking. I've spent some afternoons sitting at coffee places, chatting it up. It's what they do over in Europe.
Yucking it up.
Yuck. Not necessarily yucking it up. Over in Europe, you order a coffee and a water. And what you do is you slam down the coffee in a nanosecond, and then you sip the water and look continental.
Well, they were like...
out in front of a boutique.
Starting, they were...
drinking coffee, drinking teas, visiting with one another, snacking on little, sandwiches, panini type stuff. It was very cute. And then they had a fudge shop, and there was an ice cream parlor, a cute little movie theater. It was such a charming town.
I love it.
So I was thinking, I want to live here.
And not out in the woods. I'd like to live on the hill with a view of the water. Of course, the view of the water looks across to the naval base.
That's attractive, keeping America safe.
Naval shipyard.
Maybe they won't be flying, since it's so close to the base, they won't fly helicopters directly over the house for our safety.
Yeah. Well, it's a naval shipyard, so it's actually just where they repair boats and things. I guess they're not boats.
I don't know if I'm ready to leave the woods. I've almost given up on my alertness to the crash. I'm tired of the doom and gloom, even though I do doom porn.
You're not.
I've just
less
gotten to the
alert.
point now where, yeah, I think if I hear one more fucking guest tell me how screwed we are. You know what else, Sam? I was talking with somebody today about this. Two things I got to mention about this. First thing is I got to offer a retraction to an earlier statement I made.
Okay.
Apparently Tech 9, in their song when they mention reparations, they're saying that other niggas be waiting on the reparations. So they're not saying that they're advocating for reparations for black people. They're saying that some black people, that's what they say, the niggas, the N-I-G-G-A word, cultural. They're waiting on reparations. So I gotta give it back to Tech 9. They're still my boys.
B-O-Y-Z.
Now, this word, N-I-G-G-A.
Yeah.
It's a cultural thing. Now, we're supposed to take this young lady's word for the ghetto dictionary, that cracker is like a cop, a wannabe cop or a security guard, which doesn't bode well for Trayvon. She's like the worst prosecution witness ever, but okay.
Well, we know that's not slang for cop, because that's popo.
Yeah, it's the police. Now, cracker's a white dude.
Right.
But she couldn't be honest up there, but we're supposed to believe that nigga, now I'm not saying the bad word everywhere. I'm saying the culturally acceptable cool word, especially if you're like, I don't know.
I think it's my nigga.
Yeah, I mean, if you're hip and you're cool, or just normally black and you talk with each other, that's what you say. It's cool, I get it.
But there are a lot of words, Sam, that are weird, like that. Like, I'll give you an example. Someone will say, like, come over here. Right?
Come.
Yeah. Or, we know the basic ones, right? A female chicken is a hen, and a rooster is a cock.
Cock.
So you can say cock in public as long as you use the chicken term and you're cool. How about pussy?
Pussy is a little kitty.
It's a little kitten, right? Or like, James Bond, octopussy. Now, who are they trying to fool, right?
Yeah, I never understood that.
What are give me some more, Sam. What else have you got?
Well, dick.
Dick.
Is
Richard.
Slang for Richard, right?
Right. Peter.
Peter.
Penis.
No.
Very appropriate. Whip your
Balls,
Peter out.
nuts.
Balls. Nuts.
Uranus.
Uranus. The rings of Uranus.
Bangkok.
Bangkok.
Blowhole.
Blowhole.
Well, we live in the Pacific
Now,
Northwest.
is a blowhole the same thing as a glory hole? I'm not
No.
sure what the thing
No.
with the blowhole. Okay.
Blowhole. We live in the Pacific Northwest. There are whales. Blowhole.
Blowhole. Okay, got it. Check. Not sure the sexual tie-in, but okay. Blowhole.
Really?
Blowhole.
Well, come on over here and I'll show you.
Nice. We're going to take a 6.5 minute break.
Oh, God.
And we'll be right back with a smoking section of the show. Be smoking at that
How about
point.
crotchety?
Crotchety! Listen here, you whippersnappers! I'm
Crotchety.
tired of you black boys coming around here looking in my windows. And they said,
Crotchety.
damn, that crack is crotchety.
Crotchety sounds like you have an infection.
What a crotchety old cracker. I already told you, you know what they call PID, right? Pus in there.
Oh, God.
What else you got? Come on, girl.
How about ATM?
ATM.
ATM machine.
Ass to mouth. That's a good one.
Ball
What else?
cock.
Bukkake?
No, ball cock.
Ball cock. I read that on the list. What the fuck's a ball cock?
Well, I would have to look that back up, but let's see.
Not sure that hasn't been used since like 1787. What
How
else?
about jaculate?
Ejaculate is when you throw a javelin.
Right.
What else? What else you got?
Well, that's all I came up with. Balls,
Ejaculation.
nuts.
What?
Balls, nuts.
We covered that.
All right.
That's horrible. What else you got? Weird words. Dumb. What else you got?
Okay. Well.
What's in the news? How about that?
There's a couple of
We're
things.
floundering here.
There's
We're
a
flipping
couple
and
of
flapping.
things going on in the military. Our tax dollars at work, the military is now offering a new uniform for female soldiers.
Right.
Yeah, it's more contoured to make you look more shapely.
Yeah, wider hips, narrower waist, shorter crotch, higher inseam.
Higher inseam, some darting in the back so that the shoulder seams hit your shoulder. So there's some darting in the back. There's some contouring around the waist.
Unbelievably, they've went from Velcro to buttons.
Velcro to buttons. They move the rank. Your rank is typically in the center of your chest, but because that draws the eye to the breast, they've moved it up about 1.5 inches so that it's on your sternum.
Closer to your cleavage.
Well, yeah, these women weren't.
Must
so
have been
hot.
a chick designing this thing. I know that men design the uniform that they're supposed to be wearing now. Kind of a haggy-baggy uniform. It's not very attractive.
By the way, speaking of military uniforms, in this charming town where I was today, because there's a naval base, I had never before seen the digital camo for the Navy. That's cool.
You know what that's designed for, right?
So
if you
hiding in the water.
if you fall overboard, they never fucking find you again.
Yeah, no kidding. I mean, it would, but it's cute. I liked it.
Yeah, it's cool looking.
It's
a
cool.
cool digital blue and gray. That's to cover grease spots.
The Navy is cool, though.
That's why it's blue and gray, is to cover grease spots.
Well, I saw that today. I saw the Navy digital camo. It was very cool looking.
If you wanted to hide in the water, keep away from sharks, it'd be cool.
Yeah.
So let me get this straight now. Women are in the military, of course.
Yes.
7% of the military women. Okay, so now they've got their own uniform, and now they're going to be in combat.
Right.
So we got women in combat. What do you think about that, Sam? Women in combat.
Well, women in combat. First of all, I don't think women should be in combat necessarily, but it's causing a lot of problems. Women going into that historically or typically masculine role is causing a lot of problems.
You think so?
Yeah.
I think there's some pretty masculine broads out there.
That's called butch.
Well, see, the thing about it is, it's my belief that we're heading to an all-female society. And there are many things about females' makeup that makes them excellent soldiers. One thing, females are more likely to be able to do boring tasks repetitively without question. Guys, after a while, get sick of it and will say something. Chicks will do it over and over and over and over. They don't care. But they better have the same standards as they had before, because what they're going to try to do in this PC, they're going to put politics first. And, these soldiers, these men that are soldiers are like the most insane athletes you've ever seen. And, with that bulky mass, they're able to execute a lot of strengthful things, cardiovascular stuff, just stuff that they're expected to do to complete a successful mission is very physically demanding. Now, as it is right now in the Army, only 1% of the female candidates can actually perform the minimum standard for males.
Once again, then they shouldn't be in combat if they can't perform the same jobs.
But they won't do that. What they're going to do is come up with 2 sets of standards. It's just like firefighters. How do you make a 98-pound female a firefighter? How is she going to carry out a full-grown man firefighter?
Well, she couldn't carry you out of a burning building.
And once again, people, since I reported it on the show, I've seen 2 more instances where the chick is swooping up the flag job.
Oh, you must have been downtown.
Guys are in there fucking sweating. He looks like he's 65 years old digging in the ditch. Here's this blonde chick. She's probably like 24. She's completely fair-skinned with blonde hair. A little fat. If she'd lose a little weight, she'd be smoking. but as it is, more ordinary. But here's the deal. Blonde hair, super fair skin, blue eyes, in a goddamn sun. So in other words, you got a 20-year-old chick that's going to fry herself. God, if she stays at that job, frying, just standing in the sun with the flag all day.
But, you know, I saw a new one
No,
today.
she's going to leave. See, she's not going to stay doing that forever. There's no way. She's going to fry she'll look like a goddamn prune. But yet that 58, 61-year-old dude, laborer, been working for that company for 15 years. He's still down in the trench because there's no flag job available.
I saw a new one today.
What?
There was no flag. They were actually working on the electrical lines. And so there was a guy up in the cherry picker, right, way up high, working on the, he's working on the stoplight. And so he's up in the cherry picker, and the chick is down at the bottom looking up. That's her job. Spotter, I guess.
Hey, it's all equal.
I guess they call that a spotter.
And you know these chicks in combat, Sam? It's, you know, the regular media is not going to report it. Every one of those Jessica Lynches that were captured in combat over there in the shit box, in the sandbox, every single one of them were raped when they got caught. Now, it could happen to a male soldier, too.
We've proven that.
There were guys that had night vision goggles, and I heard from a reliable source that they could see the Afghani men in the dark boning goats.
Oh, my God.
They were all pointing it out through the night glasses. So just imagine, females, you get caught on the battlefield, they're going to show you no quarter. Just so you know that. Men are pigs. Why, in God's name, in the behalf of equality, would women want to join the ranks of the cannon fodder? Why would women, since they've got a free pass, they don't have to go to war? They really don't. Nobody would expect that of them. And other countries are against it. The actual combat role. Now, it's cool. I'm sure they can pull it off. But still, is that the society that we want? Now, let me ask you this, Sam. What's the divorce rate for female soldiers?
The divorce rate is more than twice that of enlisted men.
Now, this is like black on black crime or black on white crime or white on black crime. It's more than twice the rate of men's, but yet they represent a fraction of the total number.
Right, and half of these women are actually married to fellow servicemen, and they actually fare better than those that are married to civilian men.
Well, once again, and I don't have a problem with this, but just think about this. We're supposed to be making a killing machine, not a happy family. It's a killing machine. It's not a nation builder. It's not designed to deliver food and blankets. It's supposed to kill people and bomb them and blow them up and burn their bodies. But yet we got mom and dad. And what happens is whoever has the most seniority, the other spouse just tags along with them, and the army finds or the military finds spots for the lower ranked spouse, if possible. Sometimes they still get split up and go on deployments.
But they also mentioned that because if you are married to another enlisted serviceman or woman, due to injury, the long separations, the long periods of separation, the mental illness and the PTSD, that so many of them still get divorced when they return from deployment.
Well, everything that makes you a good soldier
makes you a shitty
spouse. Yep.
I believe that. Because you're out there, you know, what this article that I was reading was talking about was that you're out there defending our country, and you're out there in combat, or you're out doing drills and managing a situation, and then you come home and you are expected to be loving and caring and sweet and kind, and there's no training or no debriefing or no preparation or support available to these female soldiers to return to civilian life and be the role of mother or spouse.
Well, I can tell you, being a spouse of a female soldier, it really sucked to be the guy. because they got all kinds of services for the wives, for the military wives. But if you're a military husband, you're like the odd wheel. You know, and your old lady who's in the service is going to be acting like she's 20 years old and palling it up with all of her male friends over at Hooters while you're at home watching the kids. It's cool. Do what you want.
Theoretically speaking.
Yeah.
Hypothetical, of course.
Yeah, and the kid's mom was getting mad because she was doing her military thing, and every time she'd call, the 12-year-old boy was never home. So it finally made him stay home, expecting her to call, and then that night she didn't call. And then later on, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I found out that, she was at Hooters with Rick and James and Scott and Dave and Ed and Pete and Tom
just enjoying
and Rodriguez. There's a bunch of them. They're all men, hanging it, whooping it up, drinking and shit. Nah, it's cool. Nothing happened. And then they go over to South Korea.
Yeah.
As a female in the military. Took about 2 months, month and a half. Boom, got the fucking papers in the mail. Too much of a party time over there. Oh shit! Who wants to be married? We're whooping it up. Now, from what I understand, too, people jumping in the closet and shutting the door, and like their buddy will watch in the hallway while to get it on. There's quite a bit of hormones going on in the military. I'll tell you that right now. You know the nice thing about having sex with some chick that's in the military?
Yeah.
They don't have any diseases.
Well, okay.
They don't have AIDS. They don't have hepatitis. They'd be busted on that. Be out of there.
Good point.
So you know they're clean. That's a good point. But I don't have nothing against the military. I don't even got nothing against women and their equality. It just seems odd, really odd, and really telling about feminism that the end of the road for feminism is a gun and a bayonet and killing people. So instead of being nurturing beings, now you're equal with men. Now you got to get your ass out there and work, girl. You're just as strong as I, right? You can get your gun. Not you, Sam. Feminists. You're just as strong as men. Why don't you get a goddamn shovel and stop being the flag girl? You know what? But I don't want you to have to dig like that. Isn't there something that you could do that doesn't require killing anybody to be equal? Is it really necessary for chicks to be SEALs? I mean, I don't want to hold them back. If you're like some gonzo chick, I'm all for it. It's cool. But still, though, as females, is that the new role you want?
Aren't you glad I'm soft and sensitive and compassionate? And make you kill all the bugs in the house?
I do, but that's my preference. I'm saying, though, as a society, people, when you no longer need males to reproduce, and you don't even need sperm anymore, they can do it with a hair follicle, men are obsolete. And it's better to have females and feminine stuff going on and leave all the masculinity to the state. And, you know, I think it's a trend, Sam. I'll show you something, Sam. I looked in your Lucky magazine.
Yeah. Okay.
Go ahead. You don't got a lot of time.
All right.
Just go to the pages I got bent over, dog-eared. What's the first one say? What's the headline say?
Babe,
Now, this is in a fashion, girly magazine with lipstick and mascara and all this other shit. Probably put together by a bunch of homosexual guys.
Spray, style, and go.
No. Yep, okay, that's the last one, but that's okay. Now, what's the picture show?
The picture shows a woman dressed up with her...
All dressed up, ready to go.
All dressed up, ready to go. Like
and what's on the
out.
floor, wiggling around like an ape? He looks like a chimpanzee on the floor.
Yeah, a little kid in a karate
A little
uniform.
boy. So, women, that's your new role. What is it? Shower, gel, and go? What is it?
Spray, style, and go. It's
Yeah.
Vaseline, spray,
You see what you can
and go.
do? You can just throw in an aluminum TV dinner and put their favorite little Nemo cartoon on and set the TV, and then you can spray and go. No longer being burdened with nasty obligations like children and child raising. Men can do it. Sure.
Okay, here's one. I know that you've got comments about the graphic print trouser.
No, actually, the reason why I had that one dogged over is look at what the caption says about the men's shoes that the woman is wearing.
The shoe. Play up the menswear vibe with lace-up brogues and a matching leather belt.
Okay, describe that shoe on the woman's foot.
It's a wingtip.
What does that mean?
Women can wear men's shoes.
Okay, that's a statement. Describe the shoe. It's
The
a
shoe is a
man's
man's
shoe.
shoe, yes.
Thank you. On a woman in a fashion magazine. What's the next one I dog here? This is just one magazine. No problem.
Tomboys rule.
Tomboys rule. See, girls, you can do it too. Get out your cigarettes, your Virginia Slims, and your tab, and burn your bras, and you're going to get equality. And what are you going to get with equality? What is the end of the road? That's the thing. I'm cool about it. I'm cool. I'm not trying to say that I want my daughter to have her rights curtailed. I don't want her in a burqa. I don't want her to have not equal opportunity. But the problem with feminizing this world, this country, what we're leading to is only one masculine figure, and that's the state. So do we really want our girls all looking like lesbians?
Yeah, well...
I mean, I'm cool. Why is it, people, that you can spot a lesbian? You know what I mean? You look over at a chick, and at first, like, is that a guy? Is that a girl? And then, oh, it's a lesbian.
Boobs.
And it's not attractive.
It's got boobs.
It's nothing like that goddamn porn makes it out to be. They got the bleach blonde big titties going at it, and then every time I see real life ones, it's chicks that I just don't get it. They hate men, so what they do is dress up like men golfing. I don't understand. And I know that gay men like fat dudes. They call them teddy bears. There are guys that are into fat dudes. But what is the link between obesity and lesbianism?
Oh,
what
huge.
is the link? Because people, if you're fat, it's so simple. You're eating too much. That's it. It's not exercise. It's not even what you're eating. You're just eating too much. It's so simple. You know what a diet hamburger is, Sam?
Non-existent.
Half a hamburger. It's so simple. Ask them to cut your hamburger in half when you order a Burger King.
Just take off the bun.
And you got, no, it's too fucking complicated. Just say, hey, cut my hamburger in half. They're like, oh, no problem. They do it all the time. They'll cut your hamburger in half. And here's the tricky part, Sam.
Only eat half.
You got to take that fucking hamburger out and immediately, hopefully you're on foot, give the other half to a bum right away. Or throw it in the trash so you only have half the hamburger, and then take a couple of fries, chow them, wolf down the half hamburger, and throw all the rest of it away. And you know what? You can have a hamburger and fries and lose weight. Man, you're looking good, bro. Yeah, I just got back from Burger King. But now, you don't do fast food burgers.
No, I don't.
I'm real sorry, Sam. That's a huge thing you're missing out on.
No, they don't make them right. The only kind of burgers I eat are the ones that are at home. And on the hot dog thing, we talked about deli. I don't like hot dogs. However, because I something about grade school, I watched a show about a movie about the FDA or something like that. It was really gross, but had to do with hot dogs. But if you are out camping and you take that same hot dog that I would not boil and eat on a bun, and you put it on a grill, and you flip it once or twice, and it starts to get a little burned on one side, and then you accidentally let it roll into the coals, and then you pick it up and you blow off the ashes to it. That's a delicious hot dog.
Yes, that's a tasty treat.
Yes.
And that burned portion is natural carbon, a necessary mineral. You have to have burned food every once in a while.
So,
Plus, it'll freshen your breath and help illuminate gas.
So the doctor says I need
flatulent.
vitamin D.
Yeah, I heard, and I also heard that you're iodine insufficient.
Yeah. What do you think of that?
I think you probably need to eat some table salt and some condiments and maybe some Burger King.
No.
Because my labs came back perfect. Okay, so obviously you are missing one of the 4 food group pyramid essential minerals. Example, corn dogs.
No.
Another example,
apples with peanut butter on it. I never see you eat one of those things.
No, I don't like peanut butter.
Who doesn't like peanut butter?
Me. I don't like peanut butter. I don't like peanut butter and jelly. I don't like jelly.
Well, the vitamin D thing is sunlight. That's so typical of a Washingtonian.
That's true.
And, you used to spend a lot of time laying out in the sun frying yourself when we lived in Texas, girl.
I don't know that I fried myself, but I actually enjoyed the heat, and I like to be in the sun. Yes.
You know what I noticed, Sam?
What's that, Rocket?
Ever since we moved out to this here Washington State, neither of us talk like we're from Texas no more.
I know.
That's some bullshit.
That's some bullshit.
That's some bullshit.
You know what? Today,
all the jobs are in Texas. I'll tell you right now, if you're looking for work, move to fucking Texas. There's jobs there, dude. When you drive around, there's help wanted signs in the window. I swear to God. Texas, every fucking thing's under construction. The freeways are under construction. There's buildings being built. There's empty buildings and buildings with businesses and brand new ones being built. And then there's an underpass that's being built and construction crews. And guess what? Chicks with flags. These goddamn chicks with flags. They're going to be the death of us. But it's nice to have a good-looking girl on the road crew. If you're out there banging away on the asphalt, out in the blazing sun all day, that's some hard work, brother. Since I drive around on these roads, I wanted to let you guys know, man, I really appreciate you taking such good care of our streets. I never really have a pothole problem. It seems like the roads are very well taken care of. And I know that's part of my taxes, so I'm cool with paying that. But I'm not cool with Hillary Clinton being our next president. It looks like what's going to happen.
Oh, I hope you're wrong about that.
I mean, who else is going to come forward?
So, on that happy note,
I wonder how the Communist Party's doing.
well, I have a note here that says, I guess I want to kind of accuse you of helping to get Obama elected.
Yeah, I saw that backhanded note. Yes, I did help get Obama elected.
How was that?
And I feel like dog shit about it. I'm going to be Texas again. I feel like dog shit about it, Sam.
Dog shit.
Well, back in the day, Sam, I voted for that feller John McCain. Not because I wanted him to be president, because I wanted that big titty gal to be vice president.
Sarah Palin?
Yeah, just in case he had a heart attack and died in office, we get to look at those boobies. I think America would have been a whole lot better off if Sarah Palin. I can't even say her name. Sarah Palin. Sarah Palin. Sounds like a Terminator chick. Sarah Palin, big titty Alaska gal, could not be doing a worse job. The incompetency and the failure of liberal policies, the scandal after scandal after scandal after... You get the point.
I got it.
There's a lot of scandals, Sam. It's hard to keep up. That guy Carney's got his head spinning. And I'm talking about the one above his shoulders. Now, speaking of head spinning, Anthony Wiener's going to stick it out.
Oh.
Now, I want you to know, Sam.
Yes.
You saw those pictures, right? What a fatty. That little Leathers broad came out. Carlos Danger and Leathers, that's his little buddy, mutually masturbating on the phone together, taking photos of each other in the bathroom.
Gross.
Her wearing thong panties that were actually granny panties, pulled up her crack to disguise as thong panties. She's like the most average corn-fed, like a 6, if that. You know what I mean? Now, I noticed in the comments, men can be cruel. I think women can be too, but they said she has buck teeth, Sam. It's not buck teeth. That's called an overjet. An overjet is what buck teeth are for. A lot of people think that those hillbilly buck teeth gals, that somehow enhances fellatio.
I would think those would get in the way.
They always are in the way. The cows eat them for hay. Because they're always in the way. It's like big boobs. Which she didn't have. Flat as can be. And kind of on the fatty side there, Sam. I'm thinking like 15, 20, 25, 30 pounds overweight and frolicking
30.
on the beach. Facebook whore, right? Knew he was Anthony Wiener the whole time. Meanwhile, Huma, the hardcore Muslim brother infiltrate, is up there saying to everybody how he's over it, how they work through it. What a humiliation. Now, I can't remember exactly. I think it's Harry Carey, but she needs to go and get a Bushido blade and cut her own bowels out in shame. I mean, just commit Harry Carey. Fall on the sword. I don't even care if she's got a little kid. She should be so ashamed. But, he's not ashamed, Anthony Weiner, appropriately, because he's a sociopath. And he's got problems. He's a sex addict. But, people are going to vote for him. They don't care. Do you think that's relevant? So my question to you is, Sam, is sexting normal? Based on your research.
Is sexting normal? Yeah, I think it is normal. I think it's normal between two consenting adults. But this isn't a consenting adult situation,
She's
is it?
23, he's 51 or something, 48. They're both grown-ups.
Grown-up people.
But he is married.
He is married.
And he's talking to her on the phone.
But that's what I'm saying. Sexting between two consenting adults in a normal, healthy relationship, sure, that's okay. But you're cheating. He's cheating. He's perverted.
It's just the same old thing. I mean, the only thing the internet's good for is porn. It's all about porn. That's all. When people start talking about privacy issues, about your phone calls, and about what you're looking at on the web, the people that are making the biggest fuss about it, it's all about their porn habits. The internet's porn, man. Like I said, you can't form a business and sell dog food. No one's ever going to find you. You're never going to be able to make a business at it. However, if you're kind of a hot-looking chick, you can get a webcam and make all kinds of money.
So
you could sell used underwear on the internet and make a fortune. So what, Sam?
Well,
what?
This is off topic, and I'm sure you read about this, but while I was searching Drudge, and we are on this topic of sex, did you see that there is an increase in people trapped in handcuffs as a result of the 50 Shades of Grey?
Yeah, I saw that. I wonder if there was an increase in gerbil abuse after the Richard Gere incident.
God.
Now, am I wrong, or was it Rod Stewart or Mick Jagger that supposedly had a quart of men's semen pumped out of their stomach? I think it was Rod Stewart. That was an old claim. Ozzy Osbourne bit the what is it, people? You can say it on the comments.
Ozzy bit the
head off the bat. I think it was Rod
Stewart.
Stewart.
You read it in that book.
Or David Bowie, I think, was the one that had his stomach pumped and had a bunch of semen in it. And Richard Gere had the hamster up his ass, right?
A gerbil.
Right.
From a
Danny from the Partridge Family slept with a transvestite. So did the black guy. What's his name? The funny guy. Saturday Night Live. See, I can't remember.
What about she wasn't a transvestite, she was just a prostitute. The British actor
Hugh Grant.
Hugh Grant, yes.
I say, Brownie, step in the car here and give me a slobber on my jobber. I'll say I'll give you a 40 peck if you just slobber on my jobber for approximately 30 seconds. It doesn't take long. I'm real wound up.
Matthew McConaughey playing the bongos naked.
Matthew McConaughey playing the bongos naked on LSD, out of his mind. We could go down the list.
John Travolta is a transvestite.
In Secret Life, he's a tranny.
Oh, Kardashian's husband, the athlete, Bruce Jenner.
Yeah.
Supposedly he wears women's heels.
He's a cross-dresser kind of thing. Now, I wonder how many celebrities are squishers. I'm going to title this episode today, Squishers.
That'll get you lots of hits.
Watch how many people come to see this show if it goes out from the title. We're going to talk about Squishers and giantess. Now, first of all, Squishers, if you haven't heard a previous show, that's a paraphilia where people are turned on, men, by squishing small animals underneath high heel shoes.
Could happen.
Yeah, and they like to hear the vocals and stuff. It's not really porn per se. It's just chicks' feet squishing minnows and mealworms, goldfish, rats,
Pinkies.
mice. Yeah, pinkies. They like pinkies. And then the next one that's going to get us a bunch of hits, watch this one, is giantess. I don't know how you say more plural, but giantess and crushers. Giantess are dudes, that's a paraphilia, that are turned on by giant chicks. You know, they're like, hey, what are you doing down there? When they walk, you know, it's like some big, ordinary-looking chick in a bikini all giant. You know, they get attacked by helicopters, kind of a King Kong. I don't know. Now, apparently, they like to be eaten. They'll show a video of a giant chick chewing the guy or swallowing him whole.
Right.
Or torturing him, picking him up. You're so tiny and pathetic. I'm not sure what the appeal is on that.
So,
No, doesn't work for me. But, yes,
well,
giantesses and squishers were a topic on the Rocket Radio show today, and that's why it's going to be in the title. Now, also, Sam, I have linked. Did I mention this? I think so. It's in my notes. I did a National Geographic quality narration on how you, ordinary people, can have a chicken as a survival food maker for after the crash.
yeah, you did mention that.
Wonderful pet to have is a chicken in a cage, like a parrot, pumping out a goddamn egg every day. They're like little machines. I just marvel at it.
So, don't ruin it for everyone.
Did you know, Sam,
Yes.
it takes 24 hours, 25 hours for the ovum to drop down out of their little ovaries into their little
Cloaca.
They only have one opening in their for everything. It's one opening, cloaca.
Cloaca.
And there's a tube, kind of like a fallopian tube, where the egg passes down it and like develops the yolk. Then it develops the albumin or the whites, and then it finally develops the shell. And at the very last bit, it develops the pigment of the egg. And then lastly, the egg is coated in a protective coating that keeps bacteria out. You're not supposed to wash eggs until you're about to eat them.
Oops.
Yep, I've been washing for a long time. No, you don't want to wash them
Why is that?
because they come out with a protective coating to keep bacteria out of the egg. So you're supposed to brush them. And then when you're ready to eat them, then you wash them. Now, I've
Good
also
to
been
know.
told, I've never tried it, but if you coat them with mineral oil or cooking oil or soybean oil, the eggs, they can last for up to a week. People that do sailboating can keep fresh eggs for over a week by coating them in oil.
How long do you keep eggs otherwise?
A couple of weeks. Now,
I mean, because
the way
when
you
buy
test
it at
an
the
egg,
store,
well, if you get eggs out of like a nest or something, out in the ground or out of a tree or something, you got an egg and you're not sure about it. It's so easy. Just go home and put it in a bowl of water. It should sink like a stone.
yeah, if it floats, it's no good.
Yeah, if it acts buoyant on one end or tries to float or it does float, do not break that egg open because that's gases that's making it float. And you have never smelled something worse in your life until you break open a nasty egg right into a frying pan with the good eggs. I'm like cracking them open, cracking them open, cracking. Oh, like Christ! It was like mace. Remember? We were in the RV. I went outside and I was like, because I got a really good, strong, vomit-inducing, just a whiff of it. And I don't think I've had a fried egg since.
Probably
I'm working
not.
on it.
No.
But the smell of that putrid egg boiling and chicken fat or bacon fat like that with the other eggs, horrible. So you want to test your eggs. But I found it interesting that the rooster, who has no penis, makes a sperm glob
Yes.
and mounts the chicken like they're doing it, kind of doggy style, like he has a penis. And what she does is lift her tail up to her cloaca, and he puts
Right.
his sperm glob there.
Right.
Now, if sperm are able to get inside the chicken's, well, the fallopian tube equivalent, they can live for 2 to 3 weeks.
What?
Yep, and they'll wait in line to fertilize the ovums as they drop out. They take 25 hours to go from the beginning of the tube to where it finally comes out, and that's the time period that it builds the egg.
So that would if there's multiple sperm in the fallopian tube and they take their turn, that's why um a hen can sit on a whole nest full of chicks, right?
That's correct. And the rooster can be removed from the equation, and 2 weeks later, she can still be laying fertilized eggs. Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. Now, chickens for brooders, ones that sit on the eggs. One thing about chickens are you don't need multiple nesting boxes. Really don't. They'll all lay in the same spot. And some brooders will actually drag other eggs, if they think they're fertilized, into their own nest. Brooders will sit on other chickens' eggs.
Like
so,
surrogate mommy.
well, if you got more than one brooding box, but you got one chicken that's brooding and you're in a survival mode and you got these other eggs, but you want chicks because you want chickens, you might be better off going ahead and put those underneath the one that's brooding, and she'll accept them.
Right. Well,
Now-
we've only had, of all the chickens we've had, and we've had, 50 chickens? Of all the chickens we've only had one brooder.
Yeah, and the coyotes fucked her up bad.
Coyotes found her,
Got
got
the
to
egg.
her, got the eggs, and the duck, remember? We had
Coyotes
a
are a
duck that
motherfucker, man. They got all kinds of our animals.
we had a duck that was brooding, and he didn't get to the duck, but he got to the nest.
Now, chickens love eggs. Now, a nervous or a bored chicken may peck at eggs and break them. And chickens learn by example. So if you have a chicken in a chicken coop with a bunch of chickens, and he likes to break the eggs and eat them, you need to get rid of him because he's going to teach the other chickens that. Usually, once an egg gets broken, the other chickens will fight over it, man. They love eating eggs. Raw or cooked, don't matter. And they need... Remember how I showed you that egg that had the shell that was so thin, if you just touched it with your fingers, it would break?
Right.
And then I put all those broken shells in there, and then remember I brought one in and showed you how much thicker it was?
It was a lot more solid.
So the hen is very sensitive to the amounts of calcium in her bloodstream, and if they don't have exogenous, if you don't put calcium in there for them to be able to ingest, they get it from their bones and stuff. And what'll happen is you'll wind up with a retarded egg. Now, I found out today there are quite a bit of egg abnormalities. Now, we had a very tiny egg.
Yeah.
We still have it. It's adorable. It's this little teeny cutie patootie little egg.
It looks like a fake, like a chocolate Easter egg.
Now, about 1/1000% of eggs are an egg within an egg. It's a fully developed miniature egg inside of a fully developed egg. Very rare. Now, also, you have double yolks. Well, there are also extreme cases of double chicks. They come out very small. They don't usually live because there's just crowded inside there. And that the likelihood of them making it all the way is like almost zero.
We've had some double yolks in some of our larger eggs, but most of the time it's in the duck egg.
Yeah. Well, when you break open a chicken egg and there's bits of blood in it, you've seen that.
Yeah.
That means it's fertilized.
Right, I knew that.
Well, those aren't bad for you. You can eat those. If you don't like that, the peel of it, you just.
You just take that out.
Yeah, you best to take it out once it starts to cook. It's easier because it's slippery, when you try to mess with it when it's raw. It's better just to go ahead and put it in the skillet, start cooking it, and then as it starts to harden up, get those blood spots out if you think that's unappealing. But there's actually no health difference between eating a fertilized egg or a raw egg. It's about the same level of nutrition.
So I just thought of something.
Yes.
We had duck eggs for quite a while. And we even had the 2 Muscovies that were sitting on nests. We don't have any duck eggs anymore.
Nope, and I got to tell you something. Muscovy ducks are the way to go.
No, wait. Let's go back to
because
the
they're
egg.
quiet. They don't quack. A couple of quacky ducks. What was the cynical duck's name? The black one.
The cynic.
Yeah, the cynic. Because every once in a while you'd hear, quack, 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 quack. She was always like, you'd go, well, that doesn't make any sense. And then in the background you hear, quack, 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 quack. She was like the cynic, man. I mean, her timing was perfect. The male duck now, that's his mom. That was his mom.
Yeah.
But those ducks are fucking noisy. Quack, 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 all, but the Muscovies are like,
They just go.
little tiny noises that are quiet.
But why aren't
But they
they
can
laying
fly
eggs
good,
anymore?
man. What?
Why aren't they laying eggs anymore?
I don't know. She made a clutch and was probably done for the season.
She just went dormant on us.
And that's another thing. You don't need a rooster for chickens to lay eggs.
No, you don't.
It'll just happen automatically. They're just a phenomenal animal for food. It's amazing that, if I was the president of a country, I would give I don't know, some amazing tax break for every person that owned a chicken because of the amount of surplus eggs. Remember, we were just rolling in eggs.
Oh my God, we were getting like a dozen and a half a
And
day.
there's such great barter. And you need an egg to make a cake. You need an egg to make bread. Just kind of do. You need an egg for a lot of stuff, right?
Well, you need eggs and bacon for breakfast.
Well, that's a no-brainer. But I mean, if you want to make whipped cream or a bunch of different things, they need the egg whites, or there's all kinds of recipes
Caesar
that need
salad
an
dressing.
egg. So if people have all this dried food storage, they have all this dehydrated food, you're in the survival mode, and you can come up and meet people and say, look, and hold your hands out, and you have 2 brand new fresh eggs.
Golden.
They're going to be worth some ducats, baby. You probably can trade for a whole box of tampons, Sam, because you gals, I never met a prepper chick that had her shit together on her feminine hygiene products. Never. Extra tubes of Vagisil, just in case. An extra prescription of, what is it, babe? Septra?
Antifungal. Oh, you're talking about Bactrim?
Yeah, an extra dose. Tell your doctor you've got a urinary tract infection when you don't, so that he'll prescribe you a dose of Bactrim, girls, and then seal that motherfucker with wax if you have to keep it airtight and just put it away because, man, your hygiene's going to go way down. You're not going to be taking as many showers and stuff.
I
If
cannot imagine a yeast infection in a
Oh,
bunker.
Lord.
Ooh.
If you have nothing else, you can douche with urine with a yeast infection because women used to die from it. In the 1700s, or I'm not sure when the time period was, when the women had the giant dresses with the layer after layer after layer, and they had the big rings, went all the way to the floor.
Yeah.
Hoops, yeah. You know why they did that?
For the smell.
Because their pussy smelled so bad. They would put layer after layer of skirt over it all the way to the floor to contain that shit.
Oh, that's awful. That's disgusting.
But the men liked it. Girl, I can smell you from here. And another thing is they used lard on their hair. They didn't take showers. They had body odor and halitosis like nobody's business back in the day. Amazing.
Attractive.
And if you have toilet paper after the crash, Sam,
Yeah.
you won't wipe your butt with it.
Really? Why not?
You're going to trade it for shit you need, like tampons and yeast infection medicine and shit that you didn't prepare for. Toilet paper is worth its weight in gold. It's right up there with booze. Booze, booze, booze. All right, I'll tell you what I'm going to do, Sam.
Yeah.
I'm going to be doing 2 separate shows, 3 total, but I'm going to be doing 2 separate shows here in the future. And the one show I'm going to go through, you should have pen and paper handy. I'm going to tell you exactly, quickly, how you do a moonshine still. It's not what you think. I'll tell you exactly how you can make your own alcohol. It's illegal to make alcohol. So when I'm saying make alcohol, I'm talking about post-zombie apocalypse. How to make post-zombie apocalypse alcohol. I'll tell everybody how you can do it.
Great.
The next device I want to share with you is an outlaw device. You are not allowed to construct it under any circumstances. But I will tell you how to make it. You're going to love it. It's a pulse generator.
Ooh.
And I'll cover that in detail when I do my little snippet show where I'll give you the backyard, post-apocalypse, gap-tooth, country road boy, pulse generator. Very interesting. It's actually illegal to construct one, but I will tell you how you can knock out every television and radio or satellite nav within a mile. I mean, just fucks them up good, and it's just basic backyard components. It's actually against the law to make one, but this is just for post-apocalyptic survival techniques in case there are zombies that have radio traffic that are hostile to you. I'll show you a way you can disrupt their radio traffic with a pulse generator.
Fantastic.
It's going to be a great show. And then the next thing I want to tell everybody, We are, in the Bible it says you give the people milk and then meat. Well, since I left the PS show, we've been doing the milk products because we're just getting up on our feet here too, and we've made some substantial investments in our broadcast network.
Right.
And those changes will be coming along soon. And our schedule's just been all over the map, people. I'll let you know that the Rocket Radio Show will be broadcasting at 8 o'clock. We are getting to a show clock. It's coming. You'll be able to find the Rocket Radio Show at 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And the next thing, Sam,
Yes.
we'll also be broadcasting live. That's right, live.
L-I-V-E.
With a phone so that you can call in to the show and participate on our show. And we'll be real radio moguls with a talk show that people can actually call into. And I swear, I'm going to really do a live show, because I always say live when we record it. What you're listening to now is a recording. Just so you know, we could do it live, but by doing it this way, I'm going to go back and clean it up, and I'll put music, and it'll be so much more exciting and better for you. We could try to do a live show for you. It's so strange how the audience wants to know that it's live so that they know that other people are listening when they're listening. Well, just know that if you're listening to the show and it's pre-recorded, there are other people listening to the show while you're listening to the show. It's still a community. But if my audience shows some interest, Sam, I'll broadcast some live shows where you can call into the show. And I'd like to get somebody to call in that disagrees with me. I'd really like that. Or another thing I'd like to do is have somebody call in and be an intellectual and talk about something that's important, Sam. That'd be awesome.
Like print trousers and wingtips.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to wrap up this episode of the Rocket Radio Show.
Now, you've been listening to your host, Rocket, and my co-host, Samantha Stanley. Thank you so much, Samantha.
Thank you, Rocket.
Thank you, our radio listening audience, and thank you to our studio audience. This broadcast has been brought to you by the Rocket Radio Show. The Rocket Radio Show 1 can be found at blogspot.com. You can also find my old YouTube channel, because fuck YouTube!
Fuck you, YouTube sons of bitches! They got videos on how to do a blowjob. They got videos of dudes getting their heads cut off. But I post a video of a dude bagging on me, and I make him sound like a chipmunk by speeding it up.
And I get a privacy ding.
I'm so sick of YouTube. I'm not doing Facebook. I'm not doing YouTube. I'm not Twittering or Tumbling or iTuning. I'm not fucking spreading out laterally. I'm not going to do all these social medias to cater to try to get more listeners. I despise Facebook. I wouldn't send you there as my listener. It's a bunch of bullshit. It's all set up. It's all CIA. I'm not putting you there. You know what? I'm going to have less listeners. I'm not going to be as popular. I'm not doing it. I'm not tumbling you, tweeting your ass off. I'm not doing a Twitter bomb to take advantage of your social network. You know what I mean? I don't want to share your friends off your Facebook to get them to listen to my show. Bullshit. You like my show good enough that you tell them about it. I hate that. Not social media in my way to the top. God damn it. I'm going to do it by my work, and I'm going to do it by doing good quality radio.
This has been your host, Rocket. Good night, and we'll see you next time, Patriots.
Good night, everybody.
Ooh, sit back, enjoy the ride.
across the bar, my seat's been taken by some sunglasses, asking about a scar. I know I gave it to you months ago. I know you're trying to forget, but between the drinks and subtle things, the holes are like apologies, you know. I'm trying hard to take it back, so if by the time the bar closes and you feel like falling down, I'll carry you home tonight. We are young, so let's set the world on fire. We can burn brighter than the sun. Tonight, we are young, so let's set the world on fire. We can burn brighter than the sun. Now I know that I'm not all that you got. Like I said, I just thought maybe we could find new ways to fall apart. But our friends are back, so let's raise a town. 'Cause I'm about to want to carry me home tonight. We are young, so let's set the world on fire. We can burn brighter than the sun. Carry me home tonight. Carry me home tonight. Carry me home tonight. Carry me home tonight. The moon is on my side. I have no reason to run. So will someone come and carry me home tonight? The angels never arrive, but I can hear the choir. So will someone come and carry me home tonight? We are young, so let's set the world on fire. We can burn brighter than the sun. Tonight, we are young, so let's set the world on fire. We can burn brighter than the sun. So by the time the bar closes and you feel like falling down, I'll carry you home tonight.